Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Hurricane Ian has made landfall as a Category 4 storm. The damage already severe with much more yet to come.
Let's get right to some of the images from Florida's Gulf Coast. The incredible force of Ian's winds evident in this video from Cape Coral, where a pool enclosure screens just torn apart and the fence around the yard took major damage.
CNN cameras captured a transformer explosion amid the fierce winds in downtown Bradenton, causing an immediate power outage. And we also take a live look here, have this look at a marina in Bradenton where the boats are all still in place, but you can see just how high those winds are as they hit the trees. Taking a close look there.
Meantime, the palm trees in Punta Gorda showing just how strong the winds are from Ian, hitting 155 miles an hour in some places. Debris being blown all over the place. Somehow the street lights were still on when this video was taken, but obviously it's changing hour by hour. Now, here's a look at Naples, where the flooding has gotten so serious. Several cars parked along one street submerged up to their windows from water that was brought by that storm surge. And take a look at this. If you definitely have to feel for anyone who left their cars in this parking garage over in Pelican Bay, again in Naples, several of the vehicles floating around. You can hear those alarms just going off. What a mess.
A reporter at Vanderbilt Beach near Naples saw a child knocked off his feet by growing waves before being rescued by his mother. The rising waters carrying debris onto the shore as onlookers expressed surprise at the strength of the hurricane.
It's just wild, crazy right now. Just didn't expect it to be this bad here. Yeah. Expected it hit more up north than it does here.
This is amazing. Yeah, it's you know, and it's scary as well. So, but we want to take an opportunity to take a look at it and get back to the comfort of our homes.
And here's a live look at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in Tampa. Clearly no sunshine there. The waters there filled with white-capped waves as high winds are just shaking the camera back and forth. Now, it is estimated around 1 million people are without power in the area affected by the hurricane.
Cellular service has also become spotty, but our forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams managed to file this report from Venice right on the Gulf Coast between Tampa and Fort Myers.
Forward meteorologist Kim Adams, we are inside the eye of Hurricane Ian right now. Winds 120 miles per hour. We have been inside the northwest part of the eye wall for at least an hour and a half, close to 2 hours now. We have about another hour to go, maybe a couple more hours to go. But this is the worst of the storm, I think. After this, we should start to see the winds calm down a little bit. Just so you know, I am right outside the doorway of the building where we are sheltering, so I am protected somewhat from the debris. But as conditions continue to be like this, we are staying inside and staying safe, only coming out to bring you brief reports. So I'm going to head back inside now. Again, sheltering in place here for the next couple of hours. Once the storm has calmed down a bit, we will come back out and start surveying the damage. But again, I'm in Venice, the eye of the storm, just about 15 miles off to our east. And we are continuing to be in the eye wall on the northwest side of Hurricane Ian. More updates coming. Again, I'm going to go back inside, guys.
Do be careful, Kim, and we appreciate reports. We are covering, if you're wondering, we're covering this story in depth because so many Metro Detroiters have family and friends there, and these are places that a lot of you have visited as well as vacation.
I know, I just got a text from someone trying to reach their parents in Venice. The power's out, they can't reach them, and then I just got a text from a friend whose home was just leveled in Fort Myers from the water and the rain.
Sorry.
It's horrific. That's why we're doing this, so everyone can keep a track of everyone and where they are, and obviously the track of the storm is so important. Paul's here now with the very latest on that. Paul.
Yeah, hey there. And, you know, last night when we showed you the updated model data, it showed a little bit more of a bend to the east toward Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, that area, and that is indeed what played out this afternoon. You can see on the loop here, here's the eye as it came ashore, and this band here, this is the eye wall right here. That's where the most intense weather is that you saw Kim in, and Kim, by the way, is right here in Venice. So you can see as this thing came through, she was in that eye wall for quite an extended period of time. Still a Category 4, but barely. Winds just now upgraded to to 130 miles per hour. I should say downgraded technically. And this thing's going to continue moving across the Florida peninsula. Now, Orlando may get into some Category 1 hurricane winds by the overnight hours toward morning, but it is going to be weakening to a tropical storm, and then it will continue up into South Carolina as a tropical storm. Lots to talk about, including our own forecast. We'll do that in just a few minutes, guys.
Paul, thank you. And some of the worst flooding so far has been in Fort Myers Beach, where this video was taken showing submerged cars and streets filled with water.
Our Jacqueline Francis had a chance to connect with some Metro Detroiters who are in Fort Myers now experiencing Hurricane Ian firsthand. Jacqueline.
All day I've been in touch with a couple from Trenton who are right now riding out the storm at their condo in Fort Myers. This is the first hurricane they've ever experienced, so they didn't quite know what to expect.
Oh, coming out of the north. All right, how's that?
David Pelletier is a Michigan snowbird bracing for a hurricane. From Trenton, he and his wife migrated to their condo near Fort Myers 2 weeks ago, giving us a look out their window and front door as Hurricane Ian blows in.
We didn't know where it was going to go until just, last couple of days. And they said, if you can evacuate, you can. But she said the only place to go was Hertz Arena, where they play hockey, and it's cold in there.
They decided to hunker down instead, stocking up on supplies.
Batteries here with a lamp on top. We have 3 of these lamps.
This morning, they lost power, sending us video updates throughout the afternoon as things only escalate.
And you can see the pond is still pretty high, but quite a ways to come up to our condo.
I just received a text from David a few minutes ago. He and his wife, Patricia, are okay. They said that right now their condo has not taken on any water. That's a good thing. But the wind is severe, as we've been telling you all day. He says looking out the window right now, they're seeing trees, pieces of the roof, insulation, all sorts of debris blowing all around them. We'll continue to check in with them and let you know how they're doing. Live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Oh, we appreciate it. We'll be keeping that Trenton couple in our thoughts. Thanks, Jacqueline. All right, let's shift our focus a little bit from Fort Myers to just north of there.
Lester Holt is anchoring NBC Nightly News in Sarasota, where they're scrambling to find people who may not have the shelter that they need to weather this storm.
Nightly news from the storm zone tonight as we watch the hurricane blast its way ashore. The race all day for officials to get as many people in shelters as possible. Not only the wind damage a big fear, but of course the storm surge. How much water will be pushed inland? Who might be left behind? A big worry here. In fact, officials say not enough people are in shelters right now. We'll have complete coverage when we see you tonight from Florida on NBC Nightly News.
Looking forward to that, Lester. Thank you. And the people of Florida will need help over the course of the coming days, weeks, and possibly even months.
Lots of folks want to help, but before you donate, we do have some important information to help make sure that your money actually gets to the people who need it. Consumer investigator, help me, Hank Winchester, live in Detroit. Hank, people need to be careful of these scams out there.
They do, Karen, Kimberly. I mean, listen, here's the deal. You know how it goes here in Detroit. When people need something, when they need donations, Detroiters step up. Doesn't matter whether it's a next door neighbor or somebody across the country. You know organizations like the American Red Cross, the good work they do. But unfortunately, there are scammers out there. Right now, they're trying to do one thing. They're trying to get your money. A massive storm that could affect more than 1 million people. People of Florida bracing for the effects of Hurricane Ian. And scammers, unfortunately, hoping to prey on you. Those of you here in Metro Detroit looking to help, we want you to be cautious before you give.
You'll see nonprofits that just pop up overnight. Well, if you couldn't find any information about that nonprofit prior to whenever the event happened, then that's a huge red flag.
There are legitimate organizations on the ground doing the good work, and here are 4 that you may want to donate to. The American Red Cross. The Red Cross asking people to help in 2 different ways, monetary donations and also by giving blood. You can get more information at 800 Red Cross. The Salvation Army, which has about 8,000 operation centers across the country and 1 incident command center in Lakeland, Florida. They plan to serve the area for at least 2 weeks. You can make a financial contribution by calling 800-SAL Army. The Florida Disaster Fund will help communities recover after a big disaster or emergency. Checks can be mailed to the Volunteer Florida Foundation at 545 Raymond Deal Road, Suite 250, Tallahassee, Florida. And finally, Habitat for Humanity of Hillsborough County, Florida. Those volunteers making their way into neighborhoods after the storm has passed, helping to clear up debris and rebuild. You can learn more information on the Habitat website. Those are 4 charitable organizations that have been thoroughly vetted, so I'll make sure all the information is on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. Listen, we know many of you want to help. We just want you to be cautious, do your research, know exactly where your money is going before you make that donation. We're live here tonight at the Red Cross in Detroit. Hank Winchester, Help Me Hank, Local 4.
As always, we appreciate the tips, Hank. Thank you.
And our coverage of the storm continues both online and at clickondetroit.com, but also on Local 4 Plus. And that is where we are live streaming coverage from our sister station in Orlando. And they are doing around-the-clock coverage as Ian now heads towards them. New national survey finding an alarming number of women actually skipping life-saving mammograms, or they don't plan to start them at the recommended age of 40.
And that includes many women who are disproportionately affected by the disease. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a closer look at the survey and why it's so concerning, Doc.
It is concerning, Kim and Karen. You know, just today we learned that Katie Couric was diagnosed with breast cancer after having a mammogram. While progress is being made in medical treatments, the best tool for preventing cancer deaths simply continues to be screening and early detection.
At 31 years old and 8.5 months pregnant, Terlisa Shepard saw her doctor to have a lump under her arm checked.
Left work that day, told everybody, I'll be right back. You know, I'm just going for a mammogram to check this out. And didn't return back to work because that is the evening that I found out I had breast cancer.
Black women are more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer at a younger age, and also 40% more likely to die from the disease.
We want everybody to be aware, and we want everybody, irrespective of their race, starting screening mammograms at age 40.
But a new national survey by Orlando Health finds 22% of women aged 35 to 44 have no plans to get a mammogram. Only 26% of women have had conversations with their doctors about their breast cancer risks. That's concerning to Dr. Nikita Shah, who has seen the difference early diagnosis can make.
Cancer that's caught early, like a stage 0 breast cancer, has essentially 100% survival, versus a stage 3, depending on the subtype, may have a survival between 50 and 70%.
Terlisa had a healthy daughter, and 23 years later is an advocate for early detection.
I know for sure that that mammogram saved my life and my baby's life.
Now, some women may need to start screening mammograms before age 40. In fact, it's recommended that every woman start at age 25, have her risk of developing breast cancer assessed. Now, that's typically done by your primary care physician or gynecologist. Now, raising awareness about the importance of mammograms is one mission of this year's Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. It's going to be held this Sunday morning on Belle Isle, and it's a truly inspiring event and really a huge fundraiser for breast cancer research and education. Local 4 is going to be there live all morning, and you can find all of the details to sign up to run or walk at the health page at clickondetroit.com. Back to you.
Okay, Dr. McGeorge, thank you. Our coverage of Hurricane Ian continues next with a live report from a firehouse that just lost its roof.
We'll have that. And before we go to break, here are some live pictures from downtown Orlando, which right now is in the direct path of the storm. The strongest impacts should be felt there just after midnight as the storm moves through central Florida. We'll be right back.